on Sovereignty. You don't want to wait till he's next to you and, in essence, out-kick the kicker. You want to keep him at bay with that jab. And, guys, this crowd is spectacular here today. We've had a wonderful card of racing, and the build-up to the main event. It feels like I'm ringside for a championship bout, and here it is.
Exactly what it feels like. But maybe Baeza doesn't want to hear the crowd. Maybe he doesn't want to hear all this Sovereignty noise, Tom, because he does have cotton in his ears.
Yeah, he does. You look at his ears right there. You can see he's got cotton in his ears. That keeps a horse from hearing everything around him. And last time that Baeza ran in the Belmont Stakes, we were positioned right where they were breaking. I don't recall him having that cotton in his ears. Richie did the show with me, but he is much better focused today than he was last time, whether he had the cotton or not. But he is a much more focused horse today, and I look for him to run a big race.
I feel like sometimes these horses are racing against each other, and sometimes they're racing against the clock. I don't think the track is playing that quickly today. I make the over-under on the final time, Tom, 148.92 for the mile and eighth. Over or under?
Oh, under. Definitely. Come on. This is too easy. I could play this over and under game with you all day. I'd send you home in the poorhouse.
I'm going to put cotton in my ears next time I'm on with Tom.
The thing about the Belmont, Jonathan, he won easier, pulling away from Baeza, pulling away from journalism, who won the Haskell last week. They didn't step back. They both ran well. He just stepped up his game.
Yeah, journalism's beat Baeza twice, and 3 times, as a matter of fact. I think Sovereignty's the best horse in this race. I think he'll win.
It's about that time. Belmont looking on post time for the Jim Dandy odds-on Sovereignty. Here's Frank Miramati.
And here's Sovereignty and Junior Alvarado. They're in the gate. And they're off in the Jim Dandy, presented by Mohegan Sun. And Mopex breaks alertly. Baeza is up close, and Sovereignty very sharp out of the gate, right off of Moplex. So they move into the first turn, and the New York bred Moplex with the advantage. Has it by a length and a half over Sovereignty. Baeza tucks in third. They're followed by Sandman, who's certainly closer than usual, just 4 lengths off the lead. And Hill Road is at the back of the field. 24-2, a very reasonable opening quarter for Moplex and Manny Franco as they swing on to the backstretch. It's a 2-length lead on Sovereignty in second, and Baeza is matching strides, in fact taking second from Sovereignty as they head down the backstretch. Sandman and Jose Ortiz 4 lengths off the lead, and Hill Road. It's a compact field that went a half in 48-2. Moplex keen while showing the way. 2-length advantage into the far turn. On the inside, Hill Road has made an early bid. Baeza is still in second as they come to the 3/8. Sovereignty dropped back a bit, but is revving up once again with a 3-wide bid as they go through 6 furlongs in 1:12-2. Moplex, the leader, coming to the quarter pole. Baeza and Sovereignty are head in head. Hill Road made that bid, but drops back, and then Sandman there at the top of the stretch. Sovereignty is up to take the lead. He and Baeza in close quarters, but Sovereignty has the upper hand in mid-stretch. Baeza is trying his best to cling to him, but it's Sovereignty and Junior Alvarado still on top. And still with plenty left in the tank. Sovereignty scores in the Jim Dandy. Baeza ran lights out, but he ran into Sovereignty. It was a long way back to a 3-way photo for third. The Kentucky Derby and Belmont winner is now a Jim Dandy winner with his eyes on the Midsummer Derby.
And he had to work. More workmanlike, more of a blue-collar effort. Big Blue Godolphin, Sovereignty, 5th win in the Jim Dandy trainer, Belmont. At first for Junior Alvarado, Sovereignty wins a Jim Dandy. Next stop, the DraftKings Travers.
Oh, yeah, he broke sharp. He had a great position on the outside. You know, as they went into the first turn, he couldn't have asked for more than this, Andy. For whatever reason, down the backside, he kind of drops back out of it. And falls back. And then he really does have to work to get home.
It was a funny race to watch. Once he broke like that, I think we all thought it was a fait accompli. So does Sharpie was, Jonathan. But he did have to work. And Baeza, I think John Sheriff should be proud of the effort he put in. It was a very good one. So the question here is, was today the day to beat Sovereignty? He didn't maybe run his A race, but probably we see the A race in the Travers.
Oh, I think it's definitely there was the time to beat him, and they weren't able to do so. He's a horse that right here, he's 4 wide. He's circling these horses. He's losing the battle of geometry at this point. It's also, I don't think he's as good going 1 1/8 as he is going 1 1/4. That big stride is much better going 10 furlongs.
Exerting his superiority inside the final 16th, finally putting away Baeza here. For Baeza now, 3 races against Sovereignty, the 3rd in the Derby, 3rd in the Belmont, now this 2nd in the Jim Dandy.
On the other hand, he's a very, very good horse. This was born in the wrong year to win these races. And also, Tom, wouldn't you agree, with a pace that was so moderate like this, it made it harder for Sovereignty. When you get into the Travers, the likelihood the pace will be more competitive, and that will play into Sovereignty's hands much more.
To Maggie with winning rider Junior Alvarado.
I tell you what, this is some horse. When you stand up next to him, he is just hands and heels bigger than the rest. But Junior, talk to us about what happened kind of halfway down the backside and going into the far turn.
You know, like I think in the backside, you know, I got the horse Baeza, and I can see, you know, Hector, he's trying to hustle a little bit there. I know I got the best horse. You know, I wasn't going to start using my horse that early just to hustle some position. I let it just take it and let him use his horse, and I see right off of it. You know, I'm just trusting of my horse. You know, I know when I ask him, he's going to go again and go by those. I didn't want to get in an early fight, try to keep him in there with, you know, without any reason. So, you know, that's what I did, you know, and then when I asked him, he started to picking it up little by little, you know, he started inching up right away, and, you know, he did it pretty nicely and easy at the end.
Junior, this was a cutback in distance. Obviously, it felt, and it traditionally is, a prep for the Travers. He's going to relish getting back out to 1 1/4, no?
100%. You know, I think, you know, he's been training great. He's been doing everything, you know, Bill had asked to do. You know, I just don't think we have really asked him to do much to win this race, because he's just a prep, you know, like you say. So we're aiming for bigger things down the lane. So I think we after this race, he should be good.
He breathes different air. Congratulations.
Thank you, Maggie.
Junior Alvarado aboard Sovereignty yet again. The team is nearly undefeated this year, guys. But Acacia, you're with Michael Banahan from Godolphin.
That's right, and what a year it's been for Godolphin, Michael. But with Sovereignty, it just seems, as Maggie said, he breathes different air. I know this was a prep, but quite a way to win a prep.
It was a great way to win it. I was glad to get it behind us. I was nervous. These type of races are always sort of pitfalls when you're trying to get into them. So I was just glad to get him around there, get a win, move on, and let's get down to the next race.
I know that Belmont said that the Travers is the long game. Of course, it seems that as he gets back to a longer distance, and this should really set him up for a nice effort down the rest of the summer.
You would hope so. He had a nice break off after the Belmont, had trained super coming into it. Bill was happy with his works. But you never know until you get them back on the track again. So it's great to see him do what he did today without having to maybe overexert. And Junior knows him so well, so you have great confidence in him and what he's going to do with him. So it was a great result. Glad to get it behind us and roll on to the next race, hopefully.
We can't wait to see him, and just amazing seeing the applause for Sovereignty coming back to the winner's circle here.
Well, I think people recognize how good a horse he is now. He maybe had a little bit of time to earn that one.
He's earned it, Lafitte.
Yeah, he has. And it felt like if you were going to get Sovereignty, it was going to be today. Still proves victorious, Richie, and Junior Alvarado is brimming with confidence discussing Sovereignty.
Certainly was. He even allowed Baeza to come up on his inside and open up a length and a half, 2 lengths on him, and it just didn't disturb Junior at all. I caught up with John Sheriff's Baeza's conditioner, and he said he's extremely proud of his horse, second best. They got the trip they wanted. They got hooked up. His horse fought, and he just wasn't as good as a extremely talented Sovereignty, and just very, very proud of his horse. And John, classy as always.
Yeah, Richie, we take another look. Sovereignty entering the far turn, and a cheers to the breeder, Godolphin. Godolphin homebred is Sovereignty. Junior Alvarado giving him his cue, Tom, and right there with Baeza in his sights, finding his best stride, Sovereignty.
Think about the confidence Junior Alvarado has to have in this horse, that he's ridden him in every start except for one, that he's willing to lose his position, drop back, come around, and know he's got enough horse. That's horse and rider connecting, and these two connect.
And it's the kind of situation where had he gotten beaten, people would have said, what was Junior doing on the backstretch? But Junior knew what he had under him, and he was dead right.
Another salute. Cheer to the breeder. Godolphin. Godolphin homebred Sovereignty. Pulling away late from Baeza. And for Baeza, look, Road Warrior, another road game. Facing Sovereignty once again in his backyard in another valiant effort. Has to settle for second. Again, we'll see what's next regarding the DraftKings Travers. You know that's exactly where Sovereignty will be late August. Sovereignty does not disappoint. You heard the crowd, the excitement as the Derby winner, the Belmont winner, would not be denied. And a fifth for Hall of Famer Bill Mott, and for Junior Alvarado living that childhood dream of winning a first Kentucky Derby. The question was, what's next today? A first Jim Dandy. Next, maybe a first Travers.